Alright, good evening everyone. Not a lot to talk about today, just right off the bat, straight up. Anyway, we're going to do our normal stuff. We're still going to do our technical analysis. I do have a little bit of news to share in terms of Trump and Elon Musk. Just a resolution of the conflict, kind of. We'll get to it. Bitcoin is still in its downtrend. This one has been broken. I mentioned yesterday it was very, very likely that that one was going to be broken, so I'm glad it is. Our next level to break is going to be roughly, what are we looking at here? 107,000 maybe is where we could test this. I'm assuming Super Trend would drop a little further to kind of adjust for this, but right now Super Trend is looking at 108,000. You know what? Sure. I'd be confident to say we are back in an uptrend once we do cross 108,000. As of right now, welcome Bradley. Yes, this is because of Trump and Elon, this crash right over here, which was a great moment to purchase. I did not buy Bitcoin, but I bought other altcoins instead. A little bit of a rising movement, nothing too crazy. Saturdays are usually slow. Sub 1% is what most of these coins have moved. Still looking good overall. Bitcoin slowed down at 106,000. We did not cross that, so we're kind of testing that level right now. And for this Saturday, I would just expect us to stay within this range right over here. Come Sunday, we'll see whether or not we continue pumping. Would depend on what the Asian market feels. What is next? So once we do break this downtrend, because we will, I'm assuming this is our new uptrend, right? The one that I have drawn over here from this dip. Surely we continue from here upwards. We break our previous all-time high, we break our current all-time high, 112, 110, right? From there, new pivot levels would need to be drawn. But of course, you guys already know my targets is at 122k for the first one, and 135k is my ultimate target. That's where I will be taking my profits for Bitcoin. In terms of any downward movement, if we do see some downside movement, well, we do have our first support level over here. Not sure where the next pivot levels will be drawn, given next support. Would it be as far as down here, given the volatility that this caused? Well, it might be the case. 100,000. I'm very tired, by the way. Yeah, there's really not much news to talk about. And either way, 100k, and then below that, 98,000. It's usually around every $2,000 we see to have some form of a support or resistance, but this downtrend, it is important for us to break, so that's what we should be paying attention to for the upcoming week. What are we getting this week in terms of economic data? Is what I wanted to see. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, inflation rate. Okay, that'll be useful. CPI as well. And PPI on Thursday. And then Friday, nothing. Okay, so Wednesday, Thursday will seem to be important stuff. Usually more important, I would say, CPI, Consumer Price Index. We shall see how that turns out. And then that is next week. Oh, Fed interest rate. Oh, well, no. Interest rate projection. And then the interest rate decision. Okay, so here it tells us actually what we will see for this upcoming year. Okay, this will be important actually. I didn't even realize this was happening. So June 18, this is in 2 weeks from now. We will be getting our next FOMC meeting. We will get the Fed interest rate decision, which it's very likely to be projected to stay where it is right now. No rate cut. Let me just pull up the graphs. Yeah, 97% chance we do not get a rate cut. Current rate is 425 to 450, and we're likely to stay at that range, 425 to 450. As of right now, we are projecting still 2 rate cuts for this year. One in September, one in December. That has not changed. That is still the same, right? The percentages you will notice have slightly changed. Almost in like 30% chance that we're not even going to get another rate cut in September. I'm really tired. Keep yawning. So what is going to drive that is the projections. And the last time we had this was back in March. And they projected 2 rate cuts this year when back in March, the futures market here were projecting 4 rate cuts, even maybe 5 at one point. But 4 rate cuts was what we were expecting. And now that has completely changed because of the effect of tariffs. Well, not we, but Jerome Powell fears that there might be inflation caused by these tariffs. So he decided to play it slow and let it ride out, check on economic data and see how how tariffs are impacting this. Now, of course, Trump has delayed tariffs and it doesn't seem to have much of a negative impact on the economy nonetheless. So, yeah, it might be a tactic from Trump just to say, look, Powell, my tariffs are quote unquote in place, in effect, even though he's delayed most of them. Taco, Trump always chickens out. So there's that, and he's asking for Jerome Powell to give him a full basis point rate cut, which is a little bit of an exaggeration, I myself will admit. If he's asking for a full rate cut, he's expecting for us to, instead of, a 97% chance of nothing happening, he wants us to be over here at 325 to 350. That's a full basis point rate cut, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. If each one is 25, right? 100 basis points. Yeah, Trump, that is unfortunately not going to happen until likely, as of right now, we're looking at September of 2026. So, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. But still, I would be fine with just 2 rate cuts for this year. And that seems to be, what the rest of the markets are projecting as well. And hopefully that is what the Fed themselves project. And at 2:30, they'll give a press conference based on their decision. So that'll be important for June 18th. Keep that in mind. All right. Either way, Bitcoin currently relaxing, not too bad, still recovering from its drop. We're up 1%. Current price is 105,000. Still decent in my opinion. Decent for entering. I don't know about entering. You should have entered down over here. We did receive that oversold level for a moment, right? RSI was at 28 at this point. Would it be a good price for entry down there? If, like I said, if we do drop to this area below, I mentioned this in the previous stream. Yeah, you can DCA some of it if you don't have any Bitcoin yet. But I'm already loaded up and I'm not crazy enough to buy Bitcoin above 100,000. Maybe that's delusional of me. Maybe Bitcoin will never be below 100,000, at least for the rest of this bull cycle. And I would have just shot myself in the foot by then, just by, doing that. Hence why I'm looking more at altcoins right now. And I'm trying to be ahead of the game here because it's going to get worse. I say worse, but it's going to be good because everything is going to go up. But it's going to be worse to buy Bitcoin because people who are just getting into it, they want to buy Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will be at, what, 130,000, 150,000, 170,000, who knows? And they'd be like, oh, that's too expensive. I should have bought it 100,000, or I should have bought it, what is it, 74,000? Yeah, come on. So then people will be like, okay, well, Bitcoin's already had its explosive move all the way up. I'm just giving you a hypothetical for the future if this does happen. And then they'll be like, well, what else can I buy? Have the altcoins gone up yet? Ethereum has not hit its all-time high yet. I'm going to buy Ethereum. Then Ethereum will hit its all-time high. Oh, what about Solana, Sui, XRP, Litecoin, and Cardano? They have not hit their 2021 highs. We're going to keep buying those. Once retail FOMO starts kicking in, then everything, that's when alt season, of course, starts. Bitcoin dominance drops. All that good stuff, right? I finally did this thing with the trading view. I'm planning to do something. Why did this stop moving? Oh, it's still moving. Okay, we're good. I'm planning to have this, I'm planning to have an introduction screen. I have to prepare this. We'll see how well I do, where I'm going to basically have this running. I think it's too slow, though. Like, if I could go to, oh, 1 second. I think that's too much. What does it look like? Oh, I can't see that. Okay, I have to pay money. 1 minute it lets me do. Okay, I guess we can do 1 minute. That still looks uneventful. Man, I was hoping I could see like a live chart, like just going up and down as like my introduction screen before I actually start my stream, because I'm usually I'm starting to get a little late. I know, right? 400 subscribers and I feel entitled already, and I'm sorry for that, but sometimes, yeah, I genuinely just preparing stuff as best as I can to deliver it to you guys. So it does take time. That's why I wanted to have like a little live Bitcoin price screen, maybe with something playing in the background with a starting soon in the middle or something. I don't know. I was thinking of something to do with TradingView. That's why I downloaded the actual app. We shall see how it plays out. I really want to get rid of this Forex stuff. I don't want to trade Forex anymore, but it will, whatever. Yeah, the 1 minute chart, it seems very uneventful. What just happened here? All right, whatever. I wanted to check Bitcoin dominance. It's at, I don't like this chart. Let me go to a 4-hour chart. It's still pretty high. Not as high, but still relatively high. What is this? May 7, Bitcoin dominance dropped after we've recovered, of course, it seems like. A lot of money was flowing into alts. Bitcoin dominance actually dropped to about 62%. But since then, we kind of lost confidence in the alts ever since that drop of, when was this? June 5. June 5, you'll see Bitcoin dominance is on the rise once again ever since then. So people are getting a little scared of alts once again. They're flocking their money back into Bitcoin, which is a good indicator of now is like probably a good time to start loading up on some altcoins. That's kind of because then this is inevitably going to drop. We reached a high level for this point, May 2025, at 65%. We're at 64.70, right? We're very almost there. And once this Bitcoin dominance drops, that's when a lot of altcoins will start rising. It's comparing the market cap dominance, right, of Bitcoin versus altcoins if you don't know what this chart indicates. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. And we're still not even at all-time high levels for Bitcoin. Once we do, I think Bitcoin dominance will still be high. We'll be generating new highs. Bitcoin dominance will remain high once profits have been taken. Once we've reached, our targets all the way up here at 122, 135,000, Bitcoin dominance will start dropping. Money will start flowing into altcoins. And alt season will inevitably happen. First, people will start loading up on Ethereum, of course. Ethereum hits 148 million users, but price struggles below 2.5k. Yeah. We need this Ethereum staking ETF to come into effect. That will definitely give it a price boost. It will take some time, but yeah, it inevitably will come. All right. While we're on Ethereum, let's talk about it. We're currently up 1.66% and the price is 2,511. We recovered to a high of 2,542 today. That's not too bad. We still got to go. Before this drop, we were at around 2,600 plus, right? We should be reaching that very soon. I wouldn't even pay attention to these pivot levels anymore. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be getting new pivot levels. It'll tell us where we are expected to have our highs, our lows. Yeah, it should be good. And in terms of super trend, it's currently peaking a little bit lower right now. 2,660 approximately is that resistance that I would agree with for now. And we'll see if we can break that. Do I have? I'm looking at resistance for Fibonacci's, yes. So the first one, of course, was 2,747 if we're looking at this in a macro scale. Your next level is 3,068, almost 3,070. We can call it 3,000, I think, honestly, just for psychological purposes. And then 3,500, 4,000, right? So, yeah. Still got a long way to go for Ethereum, but honestly, we're halfway there in terms of recovery. I never thought we would recover this significantly, but we're on our way up. Ethereum, sometimes it just has its explosive moves, whether that be towards the upside or surprises us toward the downside, where I've mentioned it before, no amount of leverage could have saved you from that Ethereum drop, of course. Solana, I'm already in a position you can see here, a hypothetical one. This is real money, but whatever. Downtrend is still a thing, and super trend is peaking downwards at the moment. 159 is that current level. Current price of Solana is 149 with 67 cents. It's still considered up 1.41% today. This is coinciding, of course, with the downtrend that we have over here. It does need to be broken. We encountered our first resistance right here, 152. Although, yeah, these Fibonacci's are looking for drops specifically. I would switch this back over towards our all-time high just to see where our next resistance levels are, right? In the macro scale. Because I think we're done with drops for now, right? I think we could all safely agree. No more dropping. So where's the resistances at? Right here, we're looking at 170, then 195. That's what's next. Of course, we'll see what the pivot levels are for more intra-week levels where we could see some resistance or supports. So that'll be important in that case. And yeah, that's all we got for this. Not too bad for Solana. Sui had a great recovery. It's already broken its downtrend from over here, but it's still technically considering us in a downtrend in the super trend as long as we remain under 342. That needs to be broken then for us to be considered in an uptrend. And, you know, once we make another valley over here, we can draw a new uptrend. Or maybe just adjust this one, I would say. I think we're safe to probably adjust this. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I've also entered a position here in Sui. Perfect entry, by the way. No big deal. Just RSI. And I purchased at $2.95. Actually, that's a great price. I've always been saying it. Sui under $3. Great entry. Even during these moments over here. Ever since here. I remember this drop. Where we dropped to 240. During this time. Yeah, it sucked to be under here. And it even dropped below $2 at some point. Which also sucked. And I've also been liquidated similar to this, where this liquidation price is. I've been liquidated like this. But I've re-entered, of course. I've repurchased over here on my main accounts. And I've already taken some profits as well. Some positions are still open. I still have full confidence in Sui that it will recover and continue higher. And it will be a top performer of this cycle. No doubt about it. Especially when you compare it to something disgusting like XRP. I still have a limit order down here that has not been filled. I'm still bearish on XRP for now. I would expect us to just make one more good old dip for no reason, really. But the downtrend, it still prevails over here, of course. Super trend is at 226. It's going to 225 approximately. It will meet with this resistance. So that would be the level that it would have to break out of in order for us to continue our uptrend. As of right now, this one has been broken. It's been broken for a very long moment. So, yeah. Could we readjust it over here? Hypothetically, yeah. If that is our low. Yeah, and if I said it's the low for most other altcoins, it has to be for XRP as well. Unless it just shows weakness on its own for whatever reason. Then, yeah. I guess. But as of right now, we did meet our first resistance there. At the pivot level, that still worked at 220 almost. Our 24-hour high was 218, right? So we did not fully cross that yet. The current price is 216 and we're up 0.64%. Litecoin is up 1.92%. Price is $88.37. Also slowing down at this resistance, kinda. It's looking at about 90, right? 90 is the important level. And so is 92. The super trend is pointing towards that direction. This downtrend broken. I drew a lot of downtrends because, you know, there's just so many possibilities here. But this one seems to be the next one that is also very likely to be broken. I have full confidence that that one will be broken. I bought the lows twice over here, thanks to, of course, RSI pointing out where to buy. And yeah, this one's currently in profit. I entered a tiny position here, reinforcement position to match the other ones over here. So all four of those are currently in profit. Fingers crossed they'll stay that way. If not, well, even if they don't stay that way and we continue dropping, I will be gladly purchasing much more. Believe me. Cardano still kind of fighting to get out of this downtrend. Even if we rise to a high of 70 and we bounce down from that, we would still, you know, readjust that downtrend, something like this. I'm actually just going to keep this drawn like that for now. I do have position open in Cardano as well. Entered at 62. Current price is 65, up 0.57%. Yeah, not too bad either way. All right. We shall see how things progress for these. Let's move on to some of the news that I have to talk about, which, like I said, it just has to do in terms of conflict resolution between Trump and Elon. Partly the reason why markets are going up. But the only bad news is that they will not remain friends. They will remain enemies and kind of threatened each other, or, you know, still being a little bit quirky in terms of, you know, passive aggressiveness, how they're handling this situation of this Twitter battle that they've been having. Trump posted this in terms of, if you're not aware, Elon Musk claimed that Donald Trump is in the Jeffrey Epstein client files, and that is the reason why he won't release them, because they technically did release them before. Nothing came of it. A lot of names were redacted, blacked out, so it was really just a bunch of nothingness. Then they said, okay, you know what, we're gonna review it one more time, and then we'll release it again, and then nothing else came of that. So it's the same as nothing. Trump took this tweet from David Schoen, who was Jeffrey Epstein's defense criminal lawyer. He was his lawyer, Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, 9 days before he died. He sought his advice for months before that. And so obviously he knows about the case, and I mean, he's literally Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer. And David can say authoritatively, unequivocally, and definitely that he has no information to hurt President Trump. And he even specifically asked Jeffrey Epstein, hey, is there anything that can incriminate Trump in your case? According to David, Jeffrey Epstein would have replied no, right? So it also doesn't make sense for Elon Musk to claim something bold like that. Sure, it's a big thing to say, but where's your source? What are you backing this up with? And if the Democrats had any of this information, this dirt on Trump, instead of trying to assassinate him, instead of trying to impeach him, instead of trying to, what was the other one? Imprison him, give him felony charges, whatever the thing was. They could have just done this. They could have just shown the Epstein files and say, hey, look, Trump is on this list. Trump did strange stuff to underage people, so he bad and he go to jail. But I mean, you probably would have taken the Clintons to jail. They're obviously in there. Prince Harry, or whatever his name is, some royal family member from England, is also in that list, according to a bunch of rumors, of course. Yeah, it's obviously not looking that good for the Democrats themselves. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't release it. But I mean, hey, if Trump was on that list, of course the Democrats would have used that against them. So, of course, Trump posted this on his Truth Social to kind of indirectly backfire at Elon Musk to defend himself in this case. Elon also has deleted his slanderous tweets about the President of the United States, which is a good first step. You know, some posts are being deleted here. Now he would need a full-throated apology to Trump and his family. This post over here from a replier after, you know, under Elon Musk's deleted posts says that, Elon, what are you even saying? The Biden Department of Justice had the Epstein files for 4 years. Do you really think they sat on a bombshell evidence tying Trump to sex trafficking ring, but went with made-up Mar-a-Lago paperwork charges instead? Be serious. If they had anything, the Biden Department of Justice would have used it in their lawfare campaign against President Trump. They would have killed for that kind of incriminating material. So the baseless insinuation is completely absurd. Grow up, apologize, get back to work. La la la. Which I agree with, right? It doesn't make sense to make a claim like that. Like, where's your source? And if it did exist, it would have already been used, right? It's old stuff by now. And also this, right? Elon says that Trump is in the Epstein files, but he can also babysit his son. You trust him with your son? If Trump is really a terrible person. You also were friends with this quote-unquote terrible person if Trump was in that Epstein file. Yeah. No, so it was just a bold, baseless claim. Just out of the spur moment, it seems like he just decided to tweet that in frustration and anger. I kind of feel that. So, okay, Elon threw his punches. They're done. We'll talk about punches later, too. That's pretty funny. Now it's Trump's turn to kind of fight back. So he posted that counter argument from David, the lawyer of Jeffrey Epstein. And he also posted this. Well, he didn't post. I think he said it. He says that his relationship with Elon Musk, it's over. He called Elon Musk a big-time drug addict. What does that even mean? What kind of drugs is this guy taking? I know he maybe smokes weed, but that's about it. He added that Musk will face very serious consequences if Trump catches him funding Democratic candidates now. Because, of course, if Elon Musk will no longer identify as a Republican, he doesn't. Who else is he going to go with? Democrats. And, now that Trump is in power, he says, hey, if you're caught donating funds to these Democrats, you're going to be in big trouble. He's going to do something bad to, I don't know, Tesla or whatever the case may be, right? Whichever companies he owns. We'll talk more about what he's also referring to here. Trump also says that Musk is autistic, and maybe that explains his behavior. Yeah, I guess kind of. I really don't want to insult Elon Musk. He's a bright person. I mean, maybe his autism makes sense of why he's the richest man in the world, right? Because he's just so focused on that, getting that money, being an entrepreneur. You know the drill. And this, speaking of the punches thing, Elon Musk had a black eye for a moment. I don't know if you guys recall this. It was just a strange thing. Like, why does Elon Musk have a black eye? He claims that it was his son that accidentally hit him with a toy truck in the face or something like that. Some crazy made up story, but this is likely what happened. And we have some news reports that kind of back this up. Due to a disagreement over whose preferred candidate should lead the IRS, allegedly, Elon Musk shoulder-checked Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent like a rugby player in the West Wing, right? So he kind of just like body checked him, like bumped into him with a shoulder kind of deal. And Bessent struck back, which prompted bystanders to break up the fight. If Bessent punched Elon Musk in the eye, giving him a black eye, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know this old man can throw a punch like that. Musk was quickly escorted out, and even Trump says that was too much. And Musk's black eye was likely from that altercation. And here is the Washington Post, whatever this is. This is his black eye, if you're wondering, right, what I'm talking about. So yeah, there's that. Scott said, "You're a fraud. You're a total fraud," Bannon said in an interview. Musk then rammed his shoulder into Bessent's rib cage like a rugby player, Bannon said. And Bessent hit him back. Multiple people stepped in to break up the scrum as the two men reached the National Security Advisor's office, and Musk was shuffled out of the West Wing. President Trump heard about it and said, "Oh, this is too much." It's probably another reason why he wanted to get rid of Elon Musk. That could be one of the causing factors before all of this, right? And then they started saying like, oh, is it really because of the big beautiful bill that they're fighting over? Maybe it was because of this, right? Just saying. Trump is also considering selling or giving away his red Tesla Model S, which he bought earlier this year to promote Elon Musk's business. I did cover this in a now privated video about, when while Elon Musk was working with Doge, right? The liberals went crazy. The Democrats kind of funded this thing to counterattack Elon Musk. There were about all of these Tesla's protests. You know about it, right? They were firebombing Tesla dealerships, destroying the cars, painting swastikas on other people's cars, people just keying Teslas everywhere, right? Just a lot of vandalism in protest against Elon Musk, which it doesn't make sense. Like you're doing this to an electric vehicle, and I thought the Democrats were supposed to be for clean energy and, all that stuff. But whatever. Anyway, that's besides the point. Elon Musk said, "Hey guys, stop doing that to Elon Musk. Look, Teslas are great. Everything is computer. I'm buying Tesla." And it's relatively cheap, he said. It's only $30,000. Well, now he's going to give that away because he does not like Elon Musk anymore. Ignore what I'm saying here. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Elon Musk and Donald Trump, both of them now, are deleting all their posts that were pointed against each other, which hopefully means that the markets will pump on Monday. I would partially agree with this. Maybe for crypto, I mean, crypto kind of already had its effect of already recovering the loss that it had from that fight, right? But other stocks, I guess, that were also partially impacted by this, although not many were, sure, they will recover most likely as well, except for Tesla, I would say. Because why? Donald Trump is giving away or selling off the Tesla that he has, which is just a bad sign for Teslas overall. And also, he said that, man, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, he was threatening Elon Musk if he donates to Democrats, he's gonna do something. He will be in severe trouble, is what he said, right? So we don't know exactly what that means, but it's likely that Trump will affect Elon Musk where it will hurt him the most. One of his companies are going to get affected if he does catch Elon Musk doing that stuff of donating to Democratic candidates, right? So we shall see. And in terms of the apology for that Jeffrey Epstein post by Elon Musk, he said that he will apologize for the claim that Trump is implicated in the Epstein files when Trump makes them public. Because that's also part of what he says. Have a great day, DJT. One of these days, those files will have to come out and the truth will be there, right? He's not backing down on that. Like he still believes that. So we have to wait and see how that plays out if they ever do release those Epstein files. I did watch that Joe Rogan podcast with Kash Patel. Kash said that he was working on getting those, well, not the files, but like the videotape of Jeffrey Epstein's cell where he allegedly killed himself. He's saying that, yeah, it's true, he did kill himself. Like, there's no way somebody just walked into prison and killed him because they would have seen it in the security camera footage, right? And Cash seeing this as well is pretty funny. He also says this, I will apologize profusely as soon as there is a full dump of the Epstein files, is what Elon Musk said in this tweet. All right. That practically concludes the drama. I think that's where it will end for now. They mentioned that they were going to have a phone call to reconciliate, but I don't think that phone call ever happened. So they're just there now. Like, it's okay. Either way, it's fine. They deleted most of their posts about it. And I guess they will just move on. We will just no longer have Elon Musk in the White House. I guess now we could focus on Tesla. So even if there is a dip on Tesla, which can happen at Monday open, possibly. I'm just assuming this. I mean, it already had its drop over here. Tesla will have its CEO back, right? So, you know, more chance for it to grow, hopefully, right? When was this? 4 hours. Am I reading this chart wrong? When did I buy last time? This was Trump election, right? At its peak. And then it started dropping over here. Tim Wall says, haha, Tesla stocks suck. And then everything go up. So I purchased around 224. Yeah, that's what I remember. Why did I see the number 100 before? Am I crazy? Anyways, current price is 295 at Friday's close. Even if we do have a little bit of a dip under 300, sure, that would still be a good time to buy, in my opinion. Maybe wait it out a little more because we are technically in a downtrend long term. So you want to have to wait to see how that plays out. But very long term, there's still a very clear uptrend that plays out over here. And I want to draw it. I'll use a weekly chart, honestly, if I'm looking at this big of a macro scale. I want to use the extended line. It's kind of what we're expecting for now, right? Fair enough. And in terms of a longer term uptrend, sorry. Kind of looking at that, right? Yeah. Cool. So, and then we have this one to draw. I'll draw this in the daily chart. Me just analyzing stocks for you guys now. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. 4 hour, of course, to check entries. If you do see this become oversold again, absolutely great entry, my opinion. Super trend just flipped bearish for this as well, with a resistance at 371. It's got still good potential, even if we just rise up to our resistance from here. That's a good 25% rise. But I play it slow, right? I still think we will have a drop. I don't know how significant it will be. I don't think it's going to be an 8% drop. That seems to be a little bit too excessive. We shall see. Trump is set to announce, rumored to announce, a new Fed chair very soon. He said this on a plane. Like I said, he did want Jerome Powell to cut a full basis point rate cut, which is very not likely going to happen. He can't fire Jerome Powell. That's practically established. All the speculation from months ago, like, oh, he's going to fire Jerome Powell. No, it's not going to happen. Either Jerome Powell has to finish his term or he has to just resign and step down, right? Which he has no intention of doing either way. He's just going to wait it out. And his term ends in somewhere like 2026. Billy Laser, sub, man. What's up? Hey, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Yeah, just covering news, just covering crypto technical analysis if you are new here. So, yeah, hope you enjoy. It's more of a chill stream for tonight because Saturdays is very low volatility day. So, trying to do my best here, covering what I can. We also have this in terms of crypto news. NASDAQ officially proposed including Cardano in the benchmark index that underpins the hashtag crypto ETF. That would be interesting. We're going to be getting a crypto ETF. I wonder what's in it though. I don't know what this means with Jamaican patois. Oh, here it is. So this ETF is going to come out on NASDAQ. It will include Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Chainlink, Litecoin, Stellar, Uniswap. Actually good projects. 78% of weight in Bitcoin, 10% of weight in Ethereum, 5% in XRP, 3% in Solana. I disagree with that one, but okay. And very, very low exposition with the other ones. Okay. No SUI, bad. Chainlink, very good. I think you got to up that exposition in Chainlink. Solana, more exposition too. Like literally swap Solana and Ethereum. My opinion. It's just me. Of course, being a little bit more optimistic. I would swap out maybe either Stellar or Uniswap. Stellar is good. Uniswap is just DeFi, right? With Ethereum. And not a lot of people are using Ethereum anymore. Solana would be better. Yeah, I'd swap out Uniswap with SUI and increase the exposition on that if I was to make myself a portfolio like this. But still, hey, this is fine either way. Like, you can now invest in crypto through the stock market using this ETF. I mean, you can already do that with the Bitcoin ETFs and the Ethereum ETFs, but this is now obviously going to be there. And they're including Cardano in there. What is this as well? Enables first ever directed BTC to USDM swaps on Cardano. Okay, sure. Well, that's something separate. Yeah, cool. That'll be interesting to see if they do actually get this going live on NASDAQ. We shall see. And yeah, that is all. That is all the news I have for today. That's just going to I was literally scraping the bottom of the barrel for news. But that's all we got for today. All right, cool. How my position's doing? Very decent. $8 in Cardano, 7 in Solana, 14 in SUI, 7 in Litecoin. No other positions I will be entering for now unless we become oversold once again. When will I take profits? Since I'm trading very, very low on this account, I kind of feel bad. I should have put a lot more in these. But I only gave myself 2,000 to trade on this account. So I'm like, okay, well, do I really want to risk it all? Yeah, maybe some other time. We shall see. There will always be opportunities in the market, so don't get too scared. Don't get FOMO'd. Don't fall for the FOMO, right? Tomorrow we'll see how Asian markets decide to open us. We'll have new pivot levels. Hopefully we start testing this downtrend and break out of it by now, or I wouldn't mind dipping a little bit more, accumulating more, and then we can head on our way up. I honestly feel like this is one of the final dips before we actually take off. M2 money supply also proves this. Do I have that M2 money supply chart? I could look it up. I I think I deleted it already from my bookmarks. Oh, by the way, this is also happening too. Is there's these ICE protests of anti-immigration thing in Los Angeles, and there's a full-scale riot going on down there. Also, just in terms of crime news, well, okay, about this first, Trump is already sending like military and everything over there because he's saying Gavin Newsom won't do anything to stop the protests. They're not letting ICE agents do their work. They're actually like increasing their manpower and the numbers of deported illegal aliens, I guess, that are in the country. I mean, that's decent. That's what Trump is there for, right? But all these people are like protesting against that for whatever reason. So there you go. FBI director, of course, will not stand for that. And yeah. Also, Colombian presidential candidate got shot in the head today. Yeah, there is video evidence of that. I obviously will not show it because it's quite graphic. Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't see it, but whatever. Violence is still out there in the world, and he was a right-wing politician, so it seems like the only way the left can win is by doing that kind of stuff. That's unfortunate. The video is on Twitter if you really care, so you can go check that out. I wanted to check M2 money supply. That's not what I'm looking for, I don't think. Where are you looking at Cardano? What is this? Alright, this is more like it. This is all you really got to care about in terms of the projection. I think the offset is a little off. 112-day offset. Can I find this? Global M2 money supply days offset. I think the one that we are technically supposed to be using is... what was it called? What was this guy's name? Colin Talks Crypto. He had a good M2 money supply chart. I want to find an indicator if I can see... What did they call this one? Global M2... I can't spell. Can I check? Money supply? No. Days offset. Is it this one? Oh my gosh. Okay, no, I can't even click on that. Let's try this. No, I can't. Oh, it's because I have too many indicators. I will hide. Can I hide the RSI? Yes. Let me try again. Oh gosh, sorry about this. Global M2 money supply. USD. Okay, well it just... Oh, it's only for US dollar too. Okay, that's not what I want. Yeah, I'm not going to find this indicator. Whatever, you can see it in the chart. We're supposed to go up. And even this dip was kind of predicted by it, right? Just like offset just a little bit more, right? If you offset that just a little bit more, you can kind of see the resemblance, like this dip right over here. And then look at this explosion that's going to happen very soon. Even by the end of July, we're looking at maybe 120k. That's pretty good. We shall see how things play out. Great. Alright, then that'll conclude everything for me, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully we get some bombshell news. I'm not saying that we should get any bombs or anything. None of that. But, you know, you get the point. We'll see what happens. Bye.